Welcome to the Post Shift Podcast, your raw look at the hospitality industry, brought to you by SHC. What is happening, Post Shifters? Welcome to another episode of the Post Shift Podcast. Of course, I'm your host, Shawn Soole. I just want to say thank you. It's been a good start to the year. I've had a lot of good feedback. I've been just super busy between all these new platforms, the social media platforms that sort of launched this year. TikTok has been around for a bit, but I've been doing a bit with TikTok lately, and a new platform called Clubhouse, which I talked about last week. If you don't know what Club is, just Google that. Just go find out and Google that. I've been doing tons of interviews and live streams. I've been being interviewed by other people, everything else in between. Got a few big projects that I'm sort of working with right now as well. But I posted something on Saturday, and I got a couple of responses from it, and I really enjoyed it when people sort of open up about this. And it was a Van Gogh quote where it says, "If someone tells you can't paint, then just paint, and the voice will go away." And it got me into thinking a lot. And the sort of copy that I did, the post I did with this was about if you have a negative voice in your head, it is not yours. Like, let's just really start this out. Really think. If you have a negative voice in your head telling you can't do something, that is not the voice in your head. Nobody is born with a shit-eating voice in their head that says you can't do something. That is someone else's, whether it be your parents, your family, your friends. And I'm going to put these all in fucking abbreviated comments. Your friends, your family, your blah, 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 your teachers. All these people who are going to bring you down and give you their opinion. And I've talked about this, like, your opinion is the only right opinion. But let's double down on this. If you have a negative voice in your head, if you're listening to me right now and you're like, fuck, I do have a negative voice in my head, find the fucker who put it in there and then dismantle it. Now, I'm talking metaphorically. I'm not going to go say dismantle someone physically, but metaphorically dismantle that person's voice, that person's opinion, that person's attitude towards you. Get rid of it. For one thing, it's been easy for me growing up and being out on my own since I was about 17 years old, is that family voices and family influences have never really been a big thing. I always talk about my parents. I don't really have a relationship with my parents or my siblings. I'm the eldest of 6, but I don't really have a relationship with any of my family members. I left home under exterminating circumstances when I was 17 years old with $700 in my pocket and a suitcase. Lucky enough, I was able to get a little one-bedroom place, like, to share, and a roommate and that sort of thing. And I had some good friends from high school sort of support me with this huge transition, especially when I was like an hour and a half, 2 hours away from my hometown and my family. So I really had to just go out on my own. And so this connection to family has never been a really big thing for me. But I do understand people get attached to family, and they think that the family's opinion should matter. And no one's fucking opinion matters except for yours. And this is just the thing, is like, I've had massive wins and huge losses in my career and in my life. And it takes me a really long time for me to get through a lot of angst and people's opinions and people's, like, sort of bullshit. And I've really, in 2020 and 2021, I've really sort of pushed past this barrier of giving a fucking rat's ass about what anybody else fucking thinks. I'm very fucking good at what I do. I'm a fucking half-decent human being. You know, I do good things. And so, for me, I've just become more accountable of myself. And the only person that can be critique is myself. Like, I love my wife, but she never dogs me or anything like that. So, if you're listening to this podcast, it's going to be a short one because I just really want to get right to the fucking point. If you're listening to this podcast and you're a young bartender, because I feel like youngsters in the industry are the big ones that, youngsters in general, not just in the industry, youngsters in general leave home and they've got their parents' influences and they got dicks at school's influences and all these sort of things in their heads. When you leave school, when you leave home, when you're out on your own, clear all that shit out, because those people are living rent-free in your head. They do not help you in any way, shape, or form to live your life to the full. And if you're listening to this and you have that negative voice in your head, really stop. I urge you to stop. Have a good think and think about who exactly implanted that voice into your head to make you feel like you're lesser than you should be. And once you figure out who that person is, then really attack it. And if it's someone that's still in your life, I hate to say it, get rid of them out of your life or stop listening to them. You can love someone and not respect their opinions. And so at the end of the day, really, really, really focus on what makes you happy, what voice in your head makes you happy, and really push through that. Anybody else's voice in your head is poison, toxic, and thing. I've had partners, I've had workmates, I've had everybody, and the people that have put toxicity and shit into my life are no longer in my life. I don't hang out with them, I don't associate with them, I do not think about them. So, there's my post-shift shot for today. Please get rid of that negative voice in your head. You can achieve a shit ton when you've got a positive voice in your head. I'm your host as always. I will see you this week. Have a good week, guys. If you missed the live stream yesterday with Jill Coxon, epic live stream. It'll be a podcast episode this Friday if you missed it. If not, you can watch it on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and everywhere else. So, thanks as always, guys. Have a good week.
Thanks for listening, Pose Shifters. Well, I hope you enjoyed that episode. I really enjoy sitting down with friends and peers and just chatting about the industry and getting down to the nuts and bolts of what's really going on out there. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, everything on all the platforms. Just hit it up, and I'll do my best to answer any queries or questions you have. I'll see you next week, guys. Bye.